take two, y'all. So I actually did a lot of pre-shuffling, and I had started another version of this video, but I'm being asked for things to be a little bit more in order. So I'll be using the Secrets of Paradise Tarot, and this is from Leticia Ferreira, Latin and Oriental Dances, and then Laura Bello, an illustrator from Uruguay. And so there is a lot of Puerto Rican visuals to this, which I love, and it feels very Afro-Puerto Rican. So we shall see. And then I will be pulling from Black Moon Lilith Oracle. And so your options: card number 1 has this tiger's eye fin. Card number 2 has a Red Jasper. And card number 3 has Unakite. And you know we're going to get into these crystals. So it is officially Pisces season, y'all, starting today. And Pisces is the fog in which we are meant to walk through and intuitively exist in, right? Like, they're in that in-between place. And so it's not just all feeling, it's the sixth sense as well. All right, so let's begin with card number 1, y'all. And so Tiger's Eye is meant to support in good fortune, abundance, success. It's empowering. Also used by like ancient wealthy people. It has this like gold and brown flash. So it's kind of like that solid feeling when you're confident and you're just in your knowing. Okay? And so that is that. Don't mind my makeshift stand right now. I was just like, I gotta do this reading. So we have the 9 of Wands. I'm actually gonna pull next to this Black Moon Lilith. Oh, these cards have been talking. Okay, new deck alert. Interesting. So for yourself is what comes, and it's Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius, but it came in the reverse. And what is interesting about this is that like the Lilith sign upside down looks like Saturn. So this is what I was getting. Overall, we do have a lot of planets that will be in Aquarius right now. Venus just went into Aquarius, so I think Venus is linking up with Mars and Mercury, if I'm not mistaken. And the 9 of Wands is the person who is serious about their business, right? Like, they've been doing hella work, but it's also the feeling of like, there's the doing of the work and then the obligation of the work. And it kind of gave me like the why so serious, right? When do you allow yourself time for play? Play as in whatever that is to you. It is a sense of inner child healing. It is sometimes a replenishment that we're looking for when we're burnt out. Ninth house really is there's not exactly a discernment between necessary work and just work for work's sake. What are you running from, right? Everyone has their kind of addiction to something, not even addiction, but like their escapism, their tunnel of escapism. And this is Pisces season, right? And so this can lead to focusing on escapism addictions and ways of being unaccountable, because being of spirit is not always like this fun thing. It takes discipline and it takes a certain level of grounding in between that gray space, and work and over focusing on things that are smaller than us can sometimes be an escape route. And most times it's what makes us sad. So, and we have a double 9 here, right here. So a double 9. And so it's interesting. We have the wands here, and then we have this bow and arrow. And someone is teaching this person, I guess Lilith, to, I like that there's a moon right there, to aim, right? So in literal terms, if this is something focused on business, work, organizing, something to that where it's like you're creating and being of service one way or another, allow somebody to help you prioritize really and truly what's important, so you can add the feeling of freeing yourself, the existence, the being of freeing yourself as something real, right? Being overly occupied and busy does not allow you to reimagine the world around you and within. So, take a nap, go be in nature, find rest, all of them. I was just in Wands right here. I want to go to the Wands. And I'm just curious because I haven't opened the book yet. This modern businesswoman represents a new generation of descendants from enslaved ancestors back in the 1700s. She is not in the sugar field to labor, but to supervise her fields and inspect the product for sale. The process of healing from your wounds has made you stronger. Now you can begin to trust. So, I have said this before, and I'm repeating it from somewhere else. Maybe it was Ihamura or somebody. But basically, or Alice Barkley Cat with a K. The work has already been done, right? If I'm speaking specifically to Black folks who have been through it, the foundations were already placed for us. What is your need to keep this feeling of overwork? Part of like being your ancestors' wildest dream is that you get to rest, you get to nap, you get to nurture yourself in a way that was not accessible. You're not letting the pain and suffering from the past shadow your life, but you have turned it around and created your empire from the ashes. It is okay to defend your success, but be careful with extreme emotions or becoming paranoid. Remember, you need to let people in because you cannot do it all on your own. Your fire burns, your potential unmatched, but remain grounded. Learn to trust your relationships with others, and your empire will grow. Your empire will grow. I mean, what else we gotta say? What else? Literally, success and good fortune is here for you, but you don't need to do it all. Just because you can doesn't mean you have to. Let's see what this Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius is saying. Free yourself. Dark divine feminine shadow work, and this is, I do have feminine or femme presenting people, but everybody's welcome here. So it's not like super gender specific, it's just if the energy calls. Traveling is a spiritual experience for you and will allow you to heal. Take time to escape and allow yourself to be present on your journey. Then we have dark divine masculine shadow work. Your beliefs are radical and the world needs them. Journal and write down your most rebellious and adventurous thoughts. The universe is liberating you from the control of others Your higher perspective is freedom. It came in the reverse, so do not be afraid to write them down. You don't have to tell everybody what your thoughts are, but you can write them down and live in your truth. Thank you, card 1. We are moving and grooving. Okay, Red Jasper. So red, the cool thing about Red Jasper is that it always looks a little different. And red is vitality, right? If we think about like our blood, the things that run through us. It can be for those who have wombs, the cyclical ways of living, right, and existing, creation energy, but it is also root. It is also how we ground, how we remember, how we return to the fire within us while sitting with the earth. And so that is Red Jasper for me. And I hope that is what it will be for you. Oh my God, it don't get any... I love how this works. It doesn't get any more literal than what I just said. The Strength card. So your vitality is being called in, my friends. And so... let's see what this Lilith card has to say. And this came in the upright. Ooh, I see why you need strength. Okay, I actually got another card. Okay. Calcination. I'm definitely reading the whatchamacallit for this, the book, the guidebook. But strength. It's in the upright, so you are capable of getting through whatever you gotta get through. Also remember that strength isn't necessarily brute force. It is resilience. It is having the audacity to keep going regardless of what you have been through. This is also the Castillo de Reyes, and it sits on the top of a mountain looking over the city of Ponce, which is called the Pearl of the South. And the, I guess, mascot of the city is the lion. Be proud. See your kingdom from a different perspective, right? Like, really sit with the grandeur of all that you have and continue to create inside and out, right? But also be audacious enough to say, these are my boundaries. This is what we're not finna do no more. As much as we think of Aquarius as freedom fighters, Leo is the one who expresses the feelings of those that are oppressed as well, in a way that it touches people's hearts. This is our creative, this is our expressor. This is our charming person that you're like, I like this person. I see the light in them, right? I see the fire in them that lives within you. Do not downplay that, okay? It is the number 8, which is the infinity symbol. So even when you don't feel your strongest, you'll be surprised, right? And for somebody, softness is a form of strength. When the world asks of you to be something opposite than your individual self, right? This is Black Moon, Lilith, and Aquarius. Honor your individuality. Being yourself is a form of resilience, because what they'd like for you to do is just to cave in and give up. So we have Black Moon, Lilith, and Aquarius. Honor your individuality, which they're both fixed signs, which I find that very interesting. And they're sister signs, so they're opposites. And then we have this calcination, which it just sounds like you've been going through it. But doesn't mean that is the end. It doesn't mean you won't emerge from this thing. Dark night of the soul. Calcination phase shadow work. You can integrate the first step. Okay, hold on. This card represents the straw that broke the camel's back. It's a spark of internal grief. When your partner lies to you for the umpteenth time, or the anger that comes from a snide remark from a toxic boss. You finally have had enough of the traffic heading downtown and now have the fierce motivation to move to a new city. Calcination in alchemy occurs when you finally have a reckoning with what no longer is in alignment with you. And I think it's perfect for the Virgo full moon, because Virgo, there are moments that I have that I'm like, oh, I need to regain control of my life. It's time to clean. It's time to get things in order. It's time to purge these things, to throw out stuff, to clean out things. And so it's a perfect time. Plus the full moon. This may feel uncomfortable. You may feel unsupported. And you must experience a metaphorical death to be reborn. You can relate this to the occult symbolism of the phoenix. And so, the shadow work. You can integrate the first step of calcination by identifying what should be purged in your life. Take a moment to journal your thoughts and emotions during this process. I'll add you another thing. Safely, and I want you to see this, there's fire behind her. Safely burn some things that you want to release. And based on how it burns is how ready you are, right, to let go. And pay attention to the parts of the page where maybe it didn't burn. Maybe it burned a little bit. Those might be the things that you need to work on. And it also says, prepare for an ego death or shedding of your old self. Allow the ashes to fall away so that your true self remains. And I just feel like honor your individuality is just clear. So that is card number 2. There was a lot there for you, but it's time for you to emerge. No more playing it small. No more letting shit slide just to keep the peace. This is not the time. So, this is card number 3. And this is Unakite. And Unakite, I don't usually get a lot of Unakite or have done a lot of work with it. But what I can say is it's a heart stone. This is where you become the depth of the feelings that you have. And anybody who's uncomfortable by you having, big feelings or being in tune with yourself, might just not be your people, bro. And that is okay. I think Unakite supports forgiveness, allows for just deep compassion and heart healing, maybe even good for grief or disappointment. And so that's what we got there. Okay, we're still getting 2 more. I love how things work. Okay. Yes. Okay, so the forgiveness that is being needed is for yourself. Or it's two roads to this, because the 8 of Swords is the self. Because, if you look very closely to this, all of this shit is loose. There's not even a knot around The blindfold is loose, all the strings, like literally playing victim, or like you can't see the consequences or don't want to see, right? The consequences of thought patterns, actions, words said, mindsets, or the lack of belief, right? And so what we have here is kind of I don't see those red flags. Like, that's the energy of it. But it's to a detriment, because now you're just standing there like a there's something that has been said, like, there was actually even more present. Like, there was a bear that still walks around in circles because they were in captivity for so long, even though the bear is free. Same energy. Do not let the accustomedness, that's not a word, but whatever, you get the vibes. Do not allow what is comfortable be your prison, right? For lack of a better word. But like, you don't need to self-flagellate. You don't need to, oh, I'm so terrible and whatever. Like, that's not what accountability is. Accountability is saying, you know what? I have made some decisions that didn't lead me where I'd like to go. But now that I know, when you know different, you do different. Versus, this is, my suffering is all that I am. How do you evolve? How do you grow? How do you become if you don't allow yourself to? Point blank, period. And so there may be decisions that you know you need to make. There may be things that you're like, I need to speak to myself better. I need to be around people that lift me up, that amplify the energy that I know that I am. I need to walk into the rooms that I know that I'm meant to be in, versus some kind of weird imposter syndrome or whatever it is. Enough lies to the self about being this menial little thing, right? Like, oh, my little whatever. No, this is like this is big business. Whatever you're doing that seems small is something grand, because you're here and you exist. Stop playing, okay? Stop playing small. Because now look at you. You just standing in the forest, stuck because you want to be. Come on, man. You're meant to grow like the trees. I find that there's a bird in the back of this, and I'm just wondering if they mention it in the background. A native Hakana bird in Costa Rica. This card is about feeling trapped in... Well, somebody look up the Hakana bird. I know I will later. This card is about feeling trapped in a situation. It signals that this is a time when it is important to use intuition and seek refuge within. That's a great perspective. When we are blindfolded by the moment, we forget our hands are free to remove the mask from our eyes, untie our boundings, and set ourselves free. There is a way to get out of your current situation, and the solution lies within you. Look to your inner guide to show you the way. And when in doubt, if you have an altar, go to your altar. If you feel lost. And I think it doesn't get any better and clearer than this for those who are in, for those who petition, do prayers, incantations, whatever words you're comfortable with. Literally somebody on their knees, like, maybe I'm about to pray. So, you know, if that works for you, do the thing. So we have fermentation. You've been through enough. Grow from it. Move from it. You don't have to keep doing this. All right. This is 41. Patience and maturity. Change doesn't happen overnight. When the fermentation oracle card shows up, it's time to pause and allow the universe to create your soul's purpose. Allow wisdom, time, and maturity to develop around your newfound spiritual gold and identity you're stepping into. Shadow work. Breath work is a potential modality to practice when you are in the fermentation phase. It allows you to be still, recover internally, and release stress, and can help with trauma healing. Take time to allow the benefits of all your progress to integrate. And what I'll also say is sometimes what is called or is needed is surrender, which is literally having enough faith to believe that as you move through the decisions that are difficult to make, you will be led through the places that you need to go to. And that feels very specific, but you know, it hits who it needs to, when it needs to. All right, 34. We're going to 34, which also becomes a 7. Emotional clearing. After the ego has burned to ashes, you're left. You may want to hear the second card if you didn't. You are left with raw, real, and challenging emotions around what has occurred. This is like feeling you have after your heart has been shattered into pieces, or feeling fear around money and taking care of yourself after you left that raggedy job in favor of pursuing your passion. I'm paraphrasing. The universe is requiring to sit with the angst and unpredictability when you pull this card. Processing, purging, and working with your emotions is extremely important during your alchemical journey. It's signaling time for you to cleanse and wash away emotions that have prevented you from shining your light in the world. Shadow work. Draw yourself a purifying bath with sea salt and crystals of your choice. I highly recommend any type of quartz. Especially like keeping it very simple, but like rose quartz, clear quartz, smoky quartz for a little bit of protection. And then if you want to keep selenite throughout the whole process, as long as you don't get it wet, it's a purifying salt. So it's a great thing to clear your crystals with that, or just like anything that you want to clear out, you can pass over a wand over you, or just meditate with a piece of selenite. Just don't get it wet, okay? Because it's salt. All right. Wow. Allow yourself to soak and meditate on this part of your transformation. You are cleansing your unconscious mind. Sink into the deep waters of your soul to find answers. And I think make sure to add forgiveness to yourself. Forgive the things that may have gotten you here. Now you know. And now you can become whoever it is that you're becoming. And so I love that this deck says, may the oceans bring blessings, abundance, and healing to all who inhabit the planet Earth. And I will add in a loving and sincere manner. Can't bless everybody, you know what I'm saying? But that is what I have for you. Let me know what card you chose, if it pans out, if you've been going through some things. Hit me in the comments. And so randomly started shuffling again the wheel of the year. So things will be changing. Allow the change to happen. And so I will see you in the next phase, maybe the next full moon. I'm definitely going to be getting moon readings out. And so see you later. And thank you. Do not forget that you are magic.